Welcome to Traveler's Tales. I am your host, Greg Alonzo. Today I will be your guide through history as we take a look at part 2 of what happened to the Thracians. Before we begin, just a quick reminder that we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified each time we post new videos. Moving right along, mythology tells us one thing, while archaeology tells us another. Our first question of the day is from Deirdre. She asks if I know who were the Thracians in the Bible. Yes, Deirdre, I do. According to the Book of Jubilees, the inheritance of Tyros consisted of 4 large islands in the ocean. Josephus also mentions the Thracians. He wrote that Tyros became ancestor of the Thracians, referring to the Thracians. He also referred to them as a flame-haired people. According to Xenophon's, in Antiquities of the Jews, the Thracians were a people with reddish blonde hair. Our next question is from Giuseppe. He asks, in what city did the Thracians place their capital? Giuseppe, the Odrysian kingdom's capital was in the city of Pseutopolis. This city was located in present-day Stara Zagora in central Bulgaria. Unfortunately, its ruins are now located at the bottom of the Hoprinka Reservoir near Kazanlak. Now we have a question from Alexandra. She asks, how big was the city of Pseutopolis? Alexandra, very good question. Pseutopolis was not a true polis. It was primarily the seat of the king and his court. The king's palace had a dual role, functioning also as a sanctuary of the Caballeri, the gods of Samothrace. Most of the space within the city was not occupied by homes, but official structures. As for the people, they lived just outside of the city. A final note, the city of Pseutopolis was sacked by the Celts in 281 before the Common Era. Moving right along, our next question is from Sophia. She wants to know what language did the Thracians speak? Sophia, good question. The Thracian language is an extinct and poorly attested language. It was spoken in ancient times in Southeast Europe and primarily by the Thracians. Scholars generally agree that their language was a form of Indo-European with Satem features. As the Thracians became intertwined with Greeks, they began speaking a rather crude form of the Greek language. This next question is from Marcus. He asks, are the Slavs Thracians? Marcus, excellent question. Yes, the Slavs can be Thracians. However, the Thracians were actually Aryans. Slavs are not Aryans. DNA tests show that Bulgarians are descended mostly from the Thracians and not the Slavs. Now we have a question from Conchita. She asks, the land of the ancient Thracians is in which of today's countries? Conchita, another good question. Ancient Thrace covered parts of modern-day Bulgaria, Greece, and Turkey. Let's press on. Our next question is from Felix. He wants to know, what were the Thracians famous for? Felix, there is a school of thought that believes that the Thracians were primitive partly because they lived in simple open villages. The Thracians, in fact, had a fairly advanced culture that was especially noted for its poetry and music. Thracian soldiers were also valued as mercenaries, particularly by the Macedonians and the Romans. We still have time for a couple more questions. Let's see. Here's a good one from Denise. She asks, did the Thracians practice a monotheistic or a polytheistic religion? Denise, like most people of the time, they practiced polytheism. Though the Thracians had their own pantheon of gods, they also followed a few of the Greek gods. One notable cult that existed in Thracia was the Thracian horsemen. They also had a supreme god of thunder known as Perkon. Our next question is from Kylie. She wants to know about Thracian marriages. Was polygamy practiced? Kylie, yes, polygamy was practiced. In fact, it was believed that a man who had less than 10, 11, or 12 wives was not a viable partner. In fact, a failure. Our last question for the day is from Felipe. He wants to know about morals. Was virginity among women valued? No, Felipe, it wasn't. Thracian women could have sex with any man they wished. There were men known as Ketisti who lived without women. The Thracians perceived them as holy men. In myth, it was believed that Orpheus was first to be attracted to men and established homosexuality. Unfortunately for Orpheus, he was killed by the Bistone women. This brings us to the end of part 2 of what happened to the Thracians. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Traveler's Tales. Just a reminder that we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified each time we post new videos. For your convenience, we have also posted our email address and Instagram information. We enjoy hearing from our subscribers, so don't hesitate to contact us with any questions or comments you may have. If you haven't subscribed to Traveler's Tales, please do. This really is the best way to help our channel grow. Traveler's Tales will return with the 7 sages of ancient Greece. Until we meet again at the crossroads of folklore and fact, Kartistos.